You mentioned you did what your brother did as a kid, so presumably you weren't into much creative outlets, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, it was...
You definitely weren't acting, I assume.
No, it wasn't until... this is like... I hate this term, but I got the bug. I'm not gonna scratch that. Cut that out. I felt like I wanted to be an actor for a long period of time before I actually did something about it.
Same with me.
Is that right?
Well, I did civil engineering.
This is one of I always sort of felt like an outsider in every situation I was in, but I was in private school from first grade to fifth grade, and then my parents did a lot of things that were this is good parenting, and they were like, we're not going to do what our parents did, and they did a great job. Their choices were great, but you can actually see the manipulation when you look back.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
So, and I think they made a good decision about this, which is private school, and then at sixth grade, boom, you're in public school.
Sure.
And my brother did that, and so my first year at public school was sixth grade, and my first class was in this school with all of a sudden hundreds of people. Whereas in my private school, I had 30 people that were in my first grade, and that was the only people in first grade.
Right.
And first, second, third, fourth, fifth, we were all kind of this
homogenous group.
of people that were growing up together. I was taken out of that, put in public school, and it was intimidating. Thank God I had my brother there. That was, for sure. But the first class,
Andy,
totally hero, and he was good. He was good with me. Like he could have been get out of the way, but he was ace with having a little brother at school.
Yeah, that's great.
First class was speech and drama, and I don't know if it was the terror of being in a public school in combination with being in this class that was all of a sudden about things that I hadn't been doing at all up until that point. And the final, this was like an elective course, so we were there for 6 weeks, and then we moved on to choir or to some arts and crafts or something like that. But the first class was speech and drama, and the final project was the teacher divided us into 3 groups. You either did news, game show, or maybe it was soap opera or something like that. And each of us made our own little news program or game show or soap opera. And
that's cool.
Wrote it, and she shot it on this giant video camera.
Okay.
And I picked news. I wanted to be in the news. And I was the news, and I was an anchor, and
wearing your sweater. That's the sweater you were
wearing. This very sweater. I was a big kid. I was a big 6th grader, and the final thing, we wrote totally jokey, silly news reports, and this is not self-serving because I was a co-anchor. It was me and this girl who was in my class. She was great. She was a fun person, but she started reading her bit. And what did I decide to do was, in the great spirit of sharing the stage, I decided to wrestle my tie, to get into a spontaneous fight with my tie while she was doing her newscast that she wrote and was probably proud of. Okay, and we watched the playback. And everyone was laughing so hard at my impromptu, which I knew I was going to do before, tie wrestling thing. And even the young girl that was playing my co-anchor was laughing. And I was like, I love stealing focus. No, I love acting.
That's great.
But I was so. I was cutting up people, and I was the class clown, I guess, if you will, for 5 years, and there was a context where this was actually encouraged. Making people laugh was you get an A for that,
right?
And
I'm amazed how many people got into speech and got the bug through that. I just had Beth Stelling on, and there was a humorous category. So basically, she was doing humor, stand-up type of thing in school, sponsored.
No, really?
And she was a state champion in that. And like you just said, speech class, who knew?
Yeah, and I loved it. And looking back, I'm like, you stole focus. You were a rude performer.
You didn't stick to the script.
Who knows? That girl might have been primed for making a choice about acting at that moment. But once she saw me bulldozing her choice, she probably went, I don't want to do that anymore.
Or news media. She could have been the next Diane Sawyer.
Totally. I just interrupted Connie Chung, too.
So by the time like high school came, were you all in acting, or were you speech centric?
Embarrassingly, I didn't pursue it.